Hi everyone, it's Lisa and I'm here at the Paris Bourbon County Library and we are crafting today again. I hope you've been watching our series of videos. We've got some wonderful art ones, we've got some children videos, so please take advantage of those and watch them. I think you'll find that they're fun. Today we're going to be making a horseshoe. You know, this is just a hanger. It could be a gift, it could be an ornament on a tree. It's however you choose to use it. But you know, we live in the horse capital of the world, so why not try to embellish the beautiful things that we have? And although most people don't think of a horseshoe as pretty, they can be made to be very pretty. So let's look at the supplies that you're going to need. And we will get started on our second one, and I'll show you a little bit more about the original one in a few moments. You're definitely going to need horseshoes, and they are readily available in Bourbon County. I made a Facebook post about needing horseshoes, and the end of the next day I had roughly 25 horseshoes that were donated to me. So look around. Some of you live on horse farms or close to horse farms, and these are available. And what I've done is I've cleaned these. You'll notice there's a little bit of rust there, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. You're also going to need wire, and you can choose the gauge. I just happen to have this, it's called, let's see, I think it's, 22 gauge. On hand, so I'm using the 22 gauge. You could use ribbon. I just don't know about the stability long term over ribbon. I'm going to need some wire cutters, and I've got several to choose from here. Tools that can help me. And then I'm going to need beads. And I have, this is just one of about 3 boxes of random beads that I have from old necklaces, things that people have given me. And so this was where I went first because I like the colors. And then I didn't bring it, but if you want to paint these, this one's painted, again, my favorite color right now, this teal color, then feel free to paint. This is 2 coats of chalk paint and a coat of Mod Podge. I did not paint the back. This will hang flat. Okay, so let's talk about this for a few minutes. First off, the first thing I did when I received my horseshoe was clean them well. I let them soak. I took a toothbrush to them to get all the details from the nail holes here. And then I let those dry. Now there is a little bit of rust here. I'm okay with that. I kind of like a little rust, especially with the beading that I chose here. So however you choose to deal with that. You could actually paint that out if you wanted to in the silver. The back of this one has a little lip. This has a name. I'm not sure of the technical name for it, but it has a little lip here. So that will cause it to stand away from the wall just a little bit. So that area down there is a little difficult to deal with this part on there. I have seen those wrapped with beads, but to wrap beading or leather around this would be very difficult. On the other hand, I have one here that is flat. It too has been washed and scoured, and you can see it's thoroughly clean, but there is some rust here. Again, I can paint that, but it does not have that lip, and so therefore you could continue your beads or leather or ribbon around this area as well to cover that up if you chose. And they do come in different sizes. I think these are exactly the same size here. This one is a little bigger. Now, before we get into the making of these, what could you do with them? I have given my daughter one to put up in her house, and my niece one as well. It's a symbol of good luck when it's hung in this direction. And so by beading it, the one that I gave my niece was beads from her mother's costume jewelry. And I took some of the costume jewelry and actually beaded it just as a little memento for her, but also a symbol of good luck. I've also seen where you can take a beautiful satin ribbon, a wide satin ribbon, and make a very elegant one as a wedding gift, a birthday gift for a writer, you know, those types of things. My only concern would be getting the ribbon through the nail holes without pulling, snagging the ribbon, because a satin ribbon a true satin ribbon is what you would want to use. But I like the rustic look, so let's get to that. I'm going to be using the blue one that I have painted. And to get me started just a little bit, so you guys didn't have to sit and watch me string beads, all I have done is decided the order in which I want my beads, and then I need to just make sure that they're going to fit. Now, if I look at this, there's a little trench here. If I look at that, that's really where I want my bead to go. And this one is just about 3 beads too big. So I'm going to fix that here in just a moment, and I'll show you how to attach that. So the first thing I'm going to do is untangle this, because I wanted to be able to keep all of that together. So I think I'm going to stop with the silver bead here. No, I'm going to stop with the brown bead. So I'm going to take everything off except this little piece right here. And this is just like a little end cap, a little bit of a fun adornment to the end of the beads. I'm going to cut this off a little bit more so it's manageable. But I am going to curl it around so that it does not come loose. This is the top. So all I'm doing there is just taking my loop out. And I'm going to start here. And I like to go back up through. Now it does take some manipulation. And I believe right there is about where I want that. It gives this room, this top bead, not to actually go in the wrong direction, and allows it to lie on top of the bead below it easily. So now all I'm going to do is take my wire and I'm going to grab that so I can manipulate it. Hold on one second, let me move that. Back down into the nail hole. I'm just giving that a little twist to tighten it. You can see on the back there. And that is secured. And there are our beads. Now there's no turquoise. There's a little bit of turquoise here. There's no turquoise bead there. I could have added one. I just wanted that stark contrast. Now my last nail hole is here, and my last bead is here. So I think I'm going to have to go back and take off that brown one just to make it fit. I do want to put my end cap back on. And I'm going to go down through my last nail hole and pull. I'm going to go back up. There we go. Now it's on there securely, so all I'm going to do is wrap this. And if you'll recall, I took the end of it and went right back down in the nail hole. And I'm going to take my pliers and take these and give them a little twist. That's tightening that up for you. We will trim this up. Now I will trim it up. And there you go. There's your one side. Now, I'm going to pause for a few minutes because I know that you're not necessarily interested in watching me string these beads. But I'm going to get the exact bead for this side over here on our wire. And then we'll come back and attach that one. And we'll look at the finished product. Okay everyone, I went ahead and while we were off camera and I organized our beads in the same pattern on both sides and attached it to the top. And now I'm left with the tail end. If you'll recall, we're going through the last nail opening or hole. Up. There we go. I'm pulling it, but I'm trying not to scratch my paint. Although it has Mod Podge on it, I'm not sure it would prevent me from scratching that metal. Tightening up. A lot of silence on this video. I'm concentrating on trying to do just what I can here to get this made. It is not difficult. It's a matter of working with the wire. And a lighter gauge wire will be a little easier to manipulate. Remember, mine was a 22. They do make a jewelry wire. And that might be a little bit more pliable, a little bit more easy to work with. But we use what we have. There we go. Very pleased with how this one's turning out. Tighten it up. I'm going to clip it, and then I just want to give it a little twist to tighten it up just a little bit more. And there you have it. Now, what I did on this one was I took a leather cording and just fed it through the top, and there's room there. And then I knotted it on both sides and to the length that you would like it. I think these are precious. If you have a rider, someone, just a young adult or even a little girl who's interested in horses, equestrian, these would be perfect little gifts for them. So think about who you know that has horseshoes. Get a couple of them. Decide how you want to make your own horseshoe to hang for good luck. I hope you've enjoyed this. Pardon my voice today. The allergies are hitting me, but keep crafting.